I want to talk a little bit about play. And the teacher in the video we watched made the comment, play is the work of a child. And this is very true. Research and the theorists that we've been studying all point to this, that children learn through their sensory experiences, through manipulating materials, through their hands-on experience. In the process of this, they explore the materials, they experiment with, they use representationally the things that they have access to. And in this, they are gathering information and making conclusions and practicing the concepts that they are beginning to understand. And this is how children learn, and this is how their learning leads to their development. And this is all done through what we consider a child just playing. But it's important work. It's a particular classroom that the teachers recognize that a major component of a child's play and the work that they do is that they have the freedom of choice. They get to direct their own play. They get to decide how they use the materials, and if they use the materials and which activity center that they want to choose to play in. The program that we watched, the children were given a lot of choice, and that is a big component of making play work for children as they develop. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about providing play-based activities for the children. Since we've already discussed that play is how they learn and develop, some of the things that I noticed in the classroom of the video we watched is that the teachers had set up materials that were appropriate for the mixed ages of the room. They were very early learners, and they were also very advanced learners as far as the ages go. There was also ample space for the children to travel between the interest areas, which encourages the children to have the a feeling of freedom of choice. The activity areas were also filled with many manipulatives, items which a child could manipulate and move around and experiment with, items that the children could do something with. This encourages development. The children were also allowed to make their own choices in how to use the materials, which also builds their sense of independence. The teachers frequently asked the children what they wanted to do, which shows that the teachers trusted the children to direct their own learning, and it also they were encouraging the children to explore and experiment with the materials they had, which helps. The teachers were helping the children not only to develop understandings of the material, but to also build within the child a positive self-concept. And the teachers didn't tell the children how to use the materials or restrict what they were allowed to do with the materials. They encouraged the children to explore, and they supported the children's work by the way that the teachers interacted with them verbally, how they expressed what they saw the children do, and gave them some additional ideas of what they could do with the materials. One of the things I really impressed with the play-based activities, that the teachers interacted with the children, but they did not participate in their play. They simply stayed close by and offered support and encouragement to the children, and they allowed the children to to participate with the materials according to the child's level, not trying to bring the child up to the teacher's level of understanding. I thought that was really good on the teacher's part. I also liked the fact that the activity centers had open-ended materials, meaning that there was no one way that they could be used. And this type of centers, activity centers, they help to promote a child's imagination and practice their ability to practice with the materials and their exploration, and especially their enjoyment and satisfaction. The children looked really happy and satisfied to be doing their play or their work. And the final thing that we were to look at in the video were the 4 areas of development that the children experienced in their play-based activities. And these are some of the things that I saw in the video. For their social emotional, the children, there was a child that was playing with the baby and mommy animal, and that's how she was associating the sociality of parents, parent and child relationships. That was a part of social emotional. The teacher inviting the shy child to participate in any of the centers. She was gently coaxing her. That's also a part of social development. The teachers were encouraging the children to make their own choices. That's part of building a child's inner sense of trust, which is also an emotion. And I also saw that there was very strong adult and child relationships and positive interactions between the teachers and the children, which builds, that's how they modeled good social interactions for the children to learn from. The cognitive spectrum I saw in the block play, the decision making and building, the decision making that the children had and building with the blocks, that's the physical world. Learning about that. At the water table, there was the discovery of the liquid properties and of pouring and what floats and what wouldn't float. The coloring had a lot of decision making and exploring the movement and the lines that the children could make as they were manipulating the colors, and also the child that was exploring the bead maze. Those are all cognitive activities that were going on. The language development, I saw noticed the child with the book, and the teacher was interacting with it. With the child, they weren't really reading the script or the words on the pages, but they were discussing the book itself, and the child was very engaged in that. That's the beginning of language. There was circle time, a lot of song and hand motions. That's also part of language development. And the teachers were very verbal in their responses to the children as they as they interacted alongside the children's play. They were very verbal in giving the children feedback and positive encouragement to explore. That all helps to build the child's language. The teachers were also giving words to the things that they were seeing the children do. And then for the physical aspect, physical development, there was eye-hand coordination with the coloring and the water play. There were fine motor skills being developed, also with the bead maze and the coloring, and then the gross motor or large motor skills and development with the when they went outside and you could see the children running. So those are just a few of the things that I noticed when I was watching the video on the different areas of development.